Hey Peter, hey Roberta, it's Ben and I'm here at 209 Las Colinas. Um, so this area is very close to light industry, but this is a well-established subdivision that actually is very consistent and nice coming in. The houses a little closer to Edith are newer, and these houses back here, which go quite a ways up the hill here, are certainly older. Really beautiful desert willow here. So yeah, this house has perhaps the most significant structural issues I've ever seen. Not that I've seen a lot, but you know, pretty wobbly. Here's the first exterior example. You can see how this slab has pulled away here, and you can see the crack here, and this compression, this weird series of cracks here. And I think that's because this section of the house is traveling in a downward direction, and that is more evident inside. Here we go. It does have a courtyard entry. You guys know I'm a huge fan of that. And of course, this is a trom wall, which is a nice passive solar feature. Here's another look at some of this exterior. I'm going to call that buckling of the exterior stucco. So there's so much cracking and settling that I'm really just going to concentrate on the big stuff, okay? There's a billion little cracks, but some of the more significant pieces are first available here on the other side of the trom wall. You can see how it's basically traveling in this direction. It's separated and moving to the south. You can also see in this grout line here that it is much higher down here than it is down here. And as I'm walking, I can feel the hill. This is a high point. I mean, it really is a noticeable grade right here. Basically, the trom wall has separated from the structure, and this adobe is being twisted. And of course, the saltillo is shot. It's hard because there's no power in here, but the garage is also doing this downhill thing here. And you can see how the slab has heaved in this location. By the way, the HVAC in this house is radiant heat. It's all baseboard hot water heat. This is the boiler here, and these are the zone valves right here, right next door to the water heater. Off of the garage, is a little office. And on the desk are these fun plans. Now, these are not for this house, but I think you said this lady was a builder, and here's a whole stash of plans. So I think you found the right person. Yeah, here's another little look at the slab motion. This is at the garage gap. You can see that one right there. That's a section that's cracked and is traveling downhill. All right, heading into the kitchen. Well, by way of the laundry room, it's got this little independent laundry room in the center of the house. Here's an example of stuff that's all over the place. The structure moving has pulled a lot of drywall joints apart. Kitchen is actually big, and although the tile is ghastly, the layout is good. Nice pantry, got your oven and your fridge over here, nice big island, and integrated hood. And in this particular area, nothing is terribly glaring in terms of what the walls are showing. It looks like this is sort of the high center that's stable, I'm guessing here, because right here on the floor, we have another area that's traveling a little bit. I can feel a little bit of slope here, and here's another indication, these big cracks on the floor on the way to the master. So in the master bedroom, I can feel the slope in this direction. And here's kind of the high center, right? It's broken here and is traveling, in my opinion, in that direction. And of course we see common stress cracks where the framing is twisting as a result of the slab moving, and it twists at a different rate around the framed window box as opposed to the rest of the walls. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a pretty good visible decline. Nice big cracks in here. Bidet, look at that. That is fancy. Yeah, the terracotta in here is actually quite charming. And there's good space. I actually like the layout of this master. The shower enclosure surprisingly looks really good. You know, this grout has no forgiveness and absolutely would be popping, moving, having problems. Here's a little bit of a crack. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. A little bit of a crack at the curb. But the integrity of the enclosure seems very good. Okay. Oh yeah, here's a continuation of this crack through the master closet, right? So it's basically traveling across this whole corner of the house, continuing right through into the entry to the master. This is the living room here. So I think this whole section of the house is traveling a little bit. Primary living area. And you know, there's a couple things, but this is less dramatic than the master. I see this is popped here. You know, these corners don't look shocking to me. I see that the adobe veneer has popped off this frame wall, and there's a variety of loose tiles and cracks happening in here. And this is kind of tracking with our high point in the kitchen, right? I think that this is all kind of pressing downward. Here's some drama. There we go. That thing has popped off as a result of this, and this wall looks, to me, as though it's buckling, heading into the room a little bit. I know the camera makes it look pretty dramatic. It's worth paying attention to, that's for sure. And of course, this has suffered as well, this terracotta trim. Abnormally fat grout lines at the base of this trim. I don't know if that's how they did it or if that's how they tried to fix the gap that started forming. So we're back to the front door, and this is the bedroom wing. Hall bath. We have, you know, evidence of roof leak here. This is a patch on the ceiling. It transitions to a patch on the wall and then basically just travels straight down. And we see some classic water damage. Looks like the ceiling, right, there's a crack along the whole drywall ceiling of this bathroom. It actually is not cracked over here, but it does start to twist as we move towards the exterior of the house. Floor in here looks pretty good. Here's a second water heater. I assume this is just for servicing this bath down here. Bedroom number 1. Here's some classic subsidence cracking is what they call this. What's happening here is that this section of the wall is traveling in this direction, and this section of the wall is held in place by the frame of the door. So as it twists, this pops that way. And here's its little buddy across the hall. They're both doing that, which makes me believe that this whole section of the house here is traveling. Hall bath. It's a good one. Shower enclosure looks pretty good in there. And then we have this action happening here on this corner. And this looks like water damage to me. You know, tell me that's not a roof leak. This is on the ceiling nearby. We see all that bubbling. Some scary black substance right there. Here's another one of those subsidence cracks, and I think that means this section is moving this way. And then one more fun feature. Oh, here's some water damage that's probably worth paying attention to. You know, I think this window's just leaking, directing water right into the wall. It's continuing along this baseboard here. And this, by the way, is just a little sort of computer media office nook. Fireplace is kind of cool. All right, I am heading out back because there's a casita, sort of. It's a big lot. I'm shooting from the hip when I say approaching half an acre. So here's the casita. It's basically just a big garage with a roughed-in bathroom. Here's the reverse angle of the house. I can see there was some stucco patching that happened along the parapets. But everything out here looks really dry and crunchy. House-wise and plant-wise for that matter. So this is basically an unfinished space that is also settling. See that? This is, why don't we go that way? This is an extra tall 2-car bay that is very deep. It's got this fun industrial heater. It would actually make a really cool space if one were to finish it out. This is roughed in for a bath. You got your drain, 4-inch drain, vent pipe, water and drain. Boom. Okay, that's about it for this one. This is a scary house, very scary. Don't bite this one off unless you are ready to do battle. And I mean, wow. I don't even know what one would do to address such extensive slab issues. Oh, here's some cleanouts. Well, at least it has cleanouts, and the master pool doesn't look completely rusted out. Okay, thank you. Talk soon. See ya.